Hey there, Melaminah here. Welcome back to my bikini competition journey. This is episode number 59, Hawaii Recap. So, this one might be a little bit longer, just as a heads up. I do have a lot to share and I'm excited to share it all with you. We had an absolutely amazing time and I can't wait to show you some of what happened. So, if you remember, or if not, in episode number 53, I outlined a strategy for how I was going to navigate the 3 weeks that we were going to be in Hawaii. So what I'm going to do is kind of revisit what those are and then tell you what the outcome was based on what my strategy was. So the first portion of the strategy was about nutrition. So I was not going to track any macros or calories or anything like that. It was just going to be way too hard to figure out all the nutrition and everything that we were eating. And I knew that ahead of time and was like not even going to bother with it. So the other part of my strategy was to just enjoy the local food and eat until I was full, but not overstuff myself. So the outcome was that was a successful strategy. I was able to eat and enjoy and just stop eating when I was done. I did not feel the need to overstuff myself, which was awesome. So since I've been gluten-free, that actually kind of helped a lot because it sort of forced me to continue to make like healthy choices, because they're, you know, as being gluten-free, you can't have a lot of like fried stuff or floury stuff or whatever. So that actually worked out in my favor, I think. For the most part, it was pretty easy to get some gluten-free options. There were even times where I was able to enjoy like gluten-free desserts. And one time we had a gluten-free pizza, or I did. Chris had all the gluten. He had my gluten too. But yeah, and then pretty much it became comical at one point because one of the main options for being gluten-free was fish tacos. So I feel like I had every fish taco on the island, which is fine. I love tacos. I love fish tacos. So it worked out. Although I will admit that there were kind of like towards the middle of the trip, I was like, if I have one more fish taco, I think I'm going to explode. But it worked out. So as for alcohol, my normal nutrition plan is that I'm allowed one alcoholic beverage per week. Now, obviously, I did not stick to that while we were there. But on the other hand, I didn't like go hog wild and have like every drop of alcohol on the islands either. So definitely moderation. Something that definitely helped with the moderation was the prices were very high, and the drinks were not that great. So I got to a point pretty early on where I was just not able to stomach the idea of spending the economic or the caloric capital to indulge in beverages that I was just really not enjoying anyway. So I did have some drinks here and there, especially for things that we were celebrating. Like we were celebrating our 6th anniversary of our first date, and we celebrated the date that we became an official couple. And of course we also celebrated our wedding while we were there too. So I did have some drinks, but didn't lose my mind over it. So also part of the strategy that I didn't really think of ahead of time, but kind of thought about it in the moment really early on as well, was to keep from getting hangry. We hit up Costco and bought a case of water every single time that we changed islands, just so we could stay hydrated. And also we purchased some snacks that I could take on the road with me. So that usually consisted of some kind of jerky, whether it was beef or turkey or pork or whatever kind of jerky we could find. And I kind of mixed it up a little bit. And then I also bought some string cheese, and I found these really delicious gluten-free crackers at Costco. So we bought those too. And I carried those around with me in the backpack. And also like the jerky, just kind of stuffed it in the middle console of the rental cars. And so I always had access to some snacks and some food to keep from losing my mind over being hangry and whatever. That was a really great strategy too, because it was a nice variety of macros. It had high protein, it had some fat, and there were some carbs in there from the crackers as well. So it was a really good, like, balanced option for me to have on the road. So strategy number 2 was to continue to take my supplements, and I was definitely successful with that as well. I am proud to say, yay. I'm shocked actually that it was as easy as it was to stay on top of my supplements. So that was really cool. One of the things I had anticipated doing prior to us getting there was taking my protein shake mix with us and then having a protein shake for breakfast every morning. That did not happen. So I actually ended up carrying around this big ass bottle of my protein shake supplement in my bag all over the place, even though I like never touched it. So the reason for that was pretty early on, like when we first landed, the first week that we were there in Maui, I had really bad GI issues, and I will spare you the details, but I think what we ended up narrowing it down to was I had started a new probiotic before we left, and I think it just really jacked with my microbiome. And that first week that we were there, my intestinal flora was starting to rid the old bacteria and incorporate the new bacteria, but it was very violent and not pleasant at all. And eventually I abandoned the probiotic because that was not how I wanted to spend my vacation. So there was some probiotic in the protein shake that I had, and so just out of an abundance of caution, I decided to forego the shake altogether, just in case that was going to mess with my GI as well. So I never had the protein shake. But I was able to stay on top of all of my other supplements, which was really cool. So strategy number 3 was to continue weight training. I, have traveled for a while now, for a variety of reasons, and have a pretty good understanding of how I can use hotel gyms to kind of, keep up with my weight training. It's nowhere near the same as being in an actual gym, but you do what you can. So of the 21 days that we were there, I hit the gym a total of 5 times. At least it wasn't 0. And there were about 3 contributing factors to that. Number 1 was the GI issues that I was having when we were in Maui. It just made it impossible to be in the gym. There were a few times where I couldn't even leave the hotel room, which was super sad. So that was number 1, severe GI issues. Number 2 was our second week when we were on the Big Island in Kona. We actually caught a little bit of a head cold. So luckily it wasn't too bad. It didn't, force us to miss out on anything really, but nothing major. But I was lower on energy, and, I did want to give my body a chance to recover from that. So I decided not to go to the gym, and instead slept in where I could and rested where I could and just let my body recover. And then number 3, for the gym was, there were several days where we had a really early start, and we were out doing excursions and activities and stuff all day long, and didn't get back until dinner time, and then it was time to go to bed and whatever. So I didn't make it to the gym on those days. The good news is that those days were often filled with a lot of activity. So it's not like I was just sitting on my booty doing nothing. I was active and moving around. So there's that. Sorry. And then strategy number 4 was cardio. So I'm supposed to fit in 3 days of cardio per week. And I was not going to worry about doing like dedicated cardio things because I knew that we were going to be very active and doing a lot of stuff. And I figured that would kind of take over for my cardio. So we did a bunch of snorkeling. We snorkeled almost every single day, which was so fun. And it also had the added bonus of kind of like some thermal cardio, if you will. So the water was warm enough that we didn't need wetsuits, but the water temperature was still lower than body temperature. So the water was probably about 78-ish degrees, which is obviously lower than the 98.6 degrees that our bodies usually run. And so there was this like thermal metabolism that was happening without me even doing anything. I was just in the water and my body was naturally trying to keep my body temperature up. So it's like working hard and burning calories in order to do that, which was super cool. I was like literally just floating in the water and burning calories. That's my kind of like fat burning. That's fucking cool. Sorry. Anyways, what else did we do? Oh, we went surfing in Lahaina, which was scary because we're used to sandy beaches and everything there is a sharp reef. So that was a bit intimidating, but we gave it our best shot, and maybe we'll do it again when we're there. I don't know. But we also went kayaking and hiking, and we tried snuba, which was super cool. It's like a hybrid of snorkeling and scuba diving. So you do have a regulator, but the oxygen tank is floating on the surface, so it's not strapped to your body. You don't have to worry about carrying it around on your body. But it does kind of restrict how far down you can go. The lead that we had was about 15 feet, but still super cool. And then, of course, we saw all the wildlife, which was really rad. We snorkeled with manta rays. We went shark diving and snorkeled with the sharks. We got to see all the turtles. We also got bonus whales one day. We got bonus monk seals, which is apparently super rare. They hardly ever come up onto shore. And one day at Poipu Beach, we were magically gifted with a mama and her baby laying out on the sand and sunbathing. So that was super cool. Of course, we saw all the fish as well, including the state fish, the humu nuku nuku apua'a, and we saw a couple of eels. I mean, I could go on and on. It was so cool, all the stuff that we saw. Let's see. Yes. So just to kind of wrap up, before the trip, I was a little bit nervous that I was going to completely mess up and undo all of my progress. Luckily, one day or even several days over several weeks does not undo a year's worth of progress. Yay. And again, because my nutrition was, pretty good. I have no idea how many calories I ate, but again, I don't feel like I stuffed myself, even though I enjoyed some treats like ice cream. And yes, I tried the shave ice. Yes, it's bullshit, just like I knew it would be. It's literally a glorified snow cone. If you've ever had a snow cone in your life, you've had shave ice. End of story. I'm sorry. I know there's so many of you out there who just swear by it. I am not one of those people. I'd rather have ice cream, but it's okay. There were even times where I had some gluten-free desserts, so it was awesome. So overall, not nearly as much damage as I was projecting in my brain. I did have 2 check-ins with my coach. I had one the day before we left. I had one the Monday after we returned. So we returned on a Saturday, and then I had Sunday, and then Monday was the check-in. So pre-trip on April 22nd, I weighed in at 136.2. And then post-trip on May 14th, I weighed in at 139.4. And as of the recording today on May 28th, I weighed 137.2. So I'm literally only 1 pound up from where I started before the trip, and that's it's been 2 weeks since we got back, so not bad. 1 pound up, I mean, I'll take it. So we had an amazing honeymoon, an amazing trip. It was definitely the trip of a lifetime. I have so many stories to share and so many photos. I could only share a little bit here, but there's a lot more on my Instagram. So if you ever want to head over there, you can check me out at Melaminah and see some more photos and videos and stuff. It was amazing, and we can't wait to go back. We're figuring out how to get back there as soon as possible. But yeah, I mean, again, overall, not nearly as bad as I had envisioned. So yay, that's awesome. That's a win. I was able to be fairly carefree about it and still not completely ruin everything. So anyways, questions, comments, concerns, interpretive dances, feel free to leave them in the comments section below, or you can DM me directly on Instagram. I am at Melaminah. Thank you so much for watching, and the journey continues. There's still a lot more to do before my show, and so thanks for tuning in, and I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Aloha.